If you are in a lot of emotional pain, that is a massive signal telling you that you need to transcend the illusion, not to escape it and run away. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about escaping the illusion, or shall we say transcending the illusion if you're doing it intelligently. This subject often comes up in various shapes and forms. Firstly, there are many people in this world who are just fed up with living the earthly life they're in. They don't really like the experience and they want to be out of it, gone somewhere else. There's also many people who would say that they hope this is their last lifetime or manifestation on earth. No more reincarnations, please. I don't want to come back here. It's the kind of thing that they say. And that also has some limitations to it. And finally, people who want to escape the illusion here occasionally just kill themselves and leave. Now, you can do all of these things, but for various reasons we're going to run through now, it's much better to transcend the illusion, which is a little bit different, and I'm going to explain the differences. And when you transcend the illusion, you not only understand what you're up to, you also start to understand why you're having the illusion in the first place. Why have you come into this earthly world? Because if you don't get that, and if you don't have that understanding of why you did it, then you start trying to escape it in one form or another. So I'm just going to run through a few of these forms of escape in a bit more detail, so you'll see where you might fall into some of them yourself, because it is very relevant. The first form of escape people tend to do is that they just go into a massive daydream and try and shut down. They literally try and switch off. I know everyone around tends to do that in some form or other, so watch out for when you're doing it yourself. And sometimes maybe it's not a bad thing. You do need a rest from the illusion you're in, and for example, you need to go to sleep at night to have a rest from this, and at that point you do escape it. The light part of you leaves and goes out of body. So that's a very straightforward form of escape and quite normal. The next form of escape I come across is where people want to learn astral projection in order to get out of here. Now, that of itself is quite a good stimulation, because if you want to learn some astral projection, that is teaching you an essential life skill. But just trying to learn it in order to stay away from this earthly level is of itself not very helpful, because then you're not working in the illusion that you actually wanted to be in the first place. So learning astral projection is good, but learning astral projection in order not to be here at all becomes counterproductive. The next thing about escaping the illusion also connects to astral projection, and that is if you're doing a very heavy astral projection where you're taking your whole spirit body out and you're wandering around something that looks like an earthly world, you are in essence taking most of your human personality with you. And when you do that, you're not really escaping the illusion at all. You're just moving into a nearby and very similar version of it. So a heavy, low-level astral projection, which sometimes people see as a lucid dreaming world, is very interesting but doesn't really get you very far. You certainly haven't transcended the illusion. You've merely moved up one notch, but one notch as opposed to a possible 100 notches, which would be way out of it. Also, when people want to do their astral projections, they're not appreciating that they need to let go of that human spirit. They really need to come out of it in quite a significant way. So what I'm going to explain now is what happens when you do a decent light astral projection and you come right out of your human body. And that means your human spirit too. When this happens, you end up as essentially a light being, a very formless entity that has difficulty focusing itself. And at that kind of level, you need the assistance of your guiding spirits to refocus you a little bit. And when you can do that, you get up to a high level and you can look back on the illusion you're creating. At that moment, you're now into the category of what we're calling transcending the illusion. And when you're transcending the illusion, you start to get a sense of not only why you wanted to do that earthly life, but you can also see some improvements you wanted to make to it. So the original desire to do some astral projection and get out of the illusion, when you transcend it properly, allows you to look back into it and start to change the experience you're having. Put some more fun into it. If you need a different version of your current life, you can start to engineer it, because you're looking back and you're understanding what you're doing, you're improving, you're making modifications to yourself. And when change comes from within of the body you're having, you then start to change the people around you as well. You'll find some of them grow up and improve for the better, and other ones will literally seem to disappear out of your life because you're altering from within the human form the reflection it experiences externally. So that's a good example of what we call transcending the illusion and making an improvement. And finally, people who want to escape the illusion here occasionally just kill themselves and leave. And when they do that, they go into a low-level astral world. And from the low-level astral world, they start to realize that perhaps they wanted to be in that illusion. And this causes a situation where a suicide attempt actually drives you back into this earthly dimension, because you realize that you wanted to be in it, and then you put yourself back into a very similar set of circumstances. So trying to escape the illusion and doing it via killing your body easily puts you right back into the illusion of the earthly world, which is something you really didn't want to do. And that is also your main inspiration to transcend the illusion. So think of it this way. If you are in a lot of emotional pain, that is a massive signal telling you that you need to transcend the illusion, not to escape it and run away. You need to transcend the illusion, and you need to get up high enough that you take control of what's going on and change the experience you're having. Alter the experience you're having so that it's not so painful. And this is well within your capability. This is why you have in your head the feeling that you somehow need to escape the illusion, but really transcend it. This is why you may have the feeling in your head that it'd be great to learn some astral projection, because if you learn astral projection, then you learn to go up, you learn to go out, and you can then come back and do this with the help and guidance of your team. But there's also a really good point I should add into this one. If you're tempted to do this via drugs or hallucinogenic substances, this causes rather uncontrolled astral projections, and in that event you often miss the help and guidance of your team, and when they're not helping you, it's very difficult to make a proper alteration to the experience you're now having. So instead of trying to escape the illusion, accept what you're going through. Realize that actually the experience, uncomfortable as it might be, is part of what you've chosen to do. And by accepting this, that you're then in a much better position to transcend the illusion and come back into it. So we'll finish on this point. Instead of fighting the illusion and just trying to escape it, accept it for what it is, but allow yourself the latitude to transcend it, get up, get out, get the help of your team, and when you've left the illusion, you can then put new energies into the illusion you're having, change the energetic form inside the body you're in, and it will reflect a different world all around it. And you will then have transcended and altered the illusion.